Lavanceville, step forward, please.
Previously on Judge Judy, 28-year-old student Jerry Snodgrass wanted his dog Missy back from former girlfriend, 30-year-old nurse Laura Lavancel Vasquez. She's in love with the dog and wants to keep her. The judge decided that Missy should visit Jerry's home to see if she was comfortable with his other dogs. The visit was videotaped. Animal behaviorist Dr. Richard Polsky watched Missy interact with the other dogs during her visit. Jerry Snodgrass is suing his ex-girlfriend, Laura Lavancel Vasquez, for the return of his dog, Missy.
How have you been? Okay.
Hello again.
All right, when you were last here, we had gone through a substantial portion of this case. Very briefly, if my memory is correct, this is the dog an issue. You two had been together for a long time. During the time that you were together, you bought this dog. The dog was registered in your name. You claim it was a partial birthday present from her. In any event, the dog was registered in your name. When you broke up, you couldn't take the dog with you. The dog stayed with you for a substantial period of time. You now want the dog back. Is that where we are at? Correct. And what I had suggested was that we try some doggy visitations and see how they went. And in order to further assist me in making a decision, because I felt as if, listen, this is still a warm-blooded, smart creature of God, must have some feelings of its own about where she wants to live. Court authorized the use of an expert witness, and that's Dr. Roger Polsky. Is Dr. Polsky in the courtroom?
Yes.
Could you step up, please? Dr. Polsky, will you please give me a brief vitae? What are your credentials, where you were employed, where you went to school?
I'm currently president of a corporation named Animal Behavior Counseling Services located in West Los Angeles. The primary function of my business is to provide direct training and behavioral counseling services to owners throughout Los Angeles. I have a Ph.D. in animal behavior.
From where?
From the University of Leicester, England.
Did you, at the court's request, attend a visit involving this little dog here?
Okay, that's enough. This guy that I'm going to deal with on this video was on Judge Judy, as you all see. He was once a guest at Judge Judy's request. At her request, just to give you an idea of how respected this man is. Now, she did not give him time to lay out his full resume. Mr. Richard Polsky, Ph.D. in animal behavior, University of Leicester, postdoctoral fellow in animal behavior at the University of Birmingham, England. Okay. University of California, Los Angeles, well published in peer-reviewed journalists, 35 plus years, private practice treating, analyzing aggression in dogs as an applied animal behaviorist in Los Angeles. He's done a lot of work, as you can see. I'm not going to go through all this. If you go to that link that I have pinned, you'll find a link to this. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and share it. But the link that I have in the chat room is not the link that I'm sharing now. The link that I just shared now is his credentials. His credentials. Right? Bear with me. As I always like to dive into videos where I've directly tried to contact the people that I'm responding to. Now, he hasn't used his Twitter in a while, so I don't know if he's been alerted. And I thought that I had actually dealt with this guy before. I feel like I have. But I don't remember, and I can't find it. I did a search on both of my channels. I cannot find his name. I searched his name because I always like to put the person's name in the hashtag. Nothing came up. But I could have swore I dealt with this before. However, maybe I haven't. So I'm going to do it now. Richard H. Polsky, Ph.D. And I want to respond to this article right here. It does not have a date on it. I looked for a date. I could not find a date exactly when this was written. I'd like to know. Now, Polsky was polite and professional on Judge Judy. There's no reason, I'm not going to give him a reason why he should be unprofessional with me. If you can be open and professional, just like we saw you on Judge Judy, you shouldn't respond to me with malice or unprofessionalism if I don't give you a reason to. So I'm not going to. But I'm going to refute what you wrote on this website called dogexpert.com. Your website. This is your website, sir. When I saw this, I said, what? I don't even remember how I ran into this. I was doing research on border collies. That's how I ran into it, but I don't remember exactly which site referred me to this, but I ran into it. I thought I'd seen it before. But look at this. Look at the title, man. The title. Provocation for facial dog bite by border collie. Provocation for facial dog bites must be considered as a possible explanation in most dog bite injuries inflicted to the face of a child. This is his writing. What I just read is his writing. He also says, look at his next sentence. He says, this opinion is widely held among most to most animal behavior experts. People, I believe that's a typo. I believe he meant to write, it's held among most to all. That's what he meant to write right here. Please, sir, if you're listening, correct me if I'm wrong, because it don't sound right the way it is. This opinion is widely held among most to most. What's most to most? Most to most, huh? Oh, it's just right. Held among most animals. That's a typo. You meant to write most to all. That's what I believe. And I believe that because that is true. Most to all. And listen, all. I'm telling you all. At this point, I've made at least hundreds of videos where I've shared these experts, what they've written on these articles. I've shared at least 100 examples. Over 100, probably hundreds. So all of them, they say the kid's doing something. You can tell this guy has read, he keeps up with these articles. He sounds like he does. He at least reads what other behavior experts write and say. Because he's confirming it, and I'm confirming it because I keep up with him too. So wow, and you know that it's not true. Sir, this is the digital age, sir. This is the digital age. We've had cameras everywhere for a long time, meaning we have hundreds of attacks on film. On top of that, we have hundreds of police reports, of reports from the media. None of them confirm that, what you wrote in these first two sentences. None of it. No, provocation for facial dog bites must not be considered. That's what I'm saying. You made a mistake, and I'm correcting you. No, it must not be considered because we don't see nothing, no evidence of provocation. No evidence. It's not seen on film. Every attack we see on film, a kid is not doing nothing to these dumb dogs. Nothing at all. They usually run from a distance out of nowhere and attack them. Sir, you can do a quick, everybody listening can do a quick Google search and see for themselves. Take your time. Go through as many videos as you can find. Tell me how many times you see a kid provoking the dog before the before the attack. And look, I see y'all shared this photo right here. If a kid does this, y'all taught the kid to do this. This is a kid that has to be very well conditioned to do stuff like this. It's just not natural for kids to do this. Put their face right in the dog's face. They only do this because you do it all the time. The adult does it all the time. So let's not do that. You can't say a kid provoked a dog if the kid is doing what you do all the time. So what you're teaching the kid to do, you can't say, hey, you provoked it. Stop it. No, that does not work. That does not work. That's not a legit claim or argument or nothing. That's not professional. Flat out. That's just not true. These are unprovoked attacks, completely unprovoked. Ain't no kid doing nothing, getting up in no child's face. Now let's continue because this article gets worse. Look at this. He writes, for example, many experts believe that children often interact with dogs in a manner that might be provocative. Yes, they do. This is what they write in droves. This is all they write. But it's not confirmed on film, in the police reports, or in the media reports. People, where are they getting this from? This is why I challenge them as professionals. When a great deal of the articles will come out and say it was unprovoked, or the journalist will say that the witnesses all say it was completely unprovoked. And this is the norm in the reports that are given by the media. And the reports by the media is based on the police report. Right? They might add a little 2 cents here, but it's basically based on the police report. And the police report say the same thing. The police report simply records what the witnesses said. And the fact that it comes usually from the witnesses makes it even more reliable. Because the witnesses are dog lovers. The witnesses are the dog lovers. They're not dog haters. They're the people kissing up and exchanging saliva and bugs and all that with the dog, laid up with the dog. They're not gonna lie. They said it was completely unprovoked. We don't know what happened. This is the typical dog attack report. It just attacked her out the blue, attacked him out the blue. The kid got up, kid did what kids always do and just attacked him unprovoked. That dominates dog attack reports. So where are you getting this? Where are you experts getting this? And I'm challenging each and every one of you all by myself. I'm willing to have a joint debate. We'll use Teams. I know how to use Teams. And I will install Teams here. We can have a group debate. I don't care if it's 50 of you. You can all chat amongst yourselves. I'll put myself on mute. And you come back with the best answer. I'm telling every one of you, prove it. I'm simply trying to challenge y'all on what I'm saying is a lie. These are a bunch of lies, and you all know this is not true. If you spent even 1% of your time researching the reports, the footage, then you've seen that these attacks are unprovoked. So What are you talking about? You know you're pushing an agenda. Let's continue. And on occasion, he says, what may not seem provocative to the victim may well, in fact, be something that would provoke a dog to bite. Like what? Petting it? Which is what you taught. This is what y'all teach kids to do. What the kids doing right now is what you teach them to do. Anything a kid does with a dog is what you taught them to do. You cannot now turn around and say, oh, you're provoking it, when the kid's doing what you're telling them to do. I'm not going to spend much time going over that again. I think we're clear. I don't think you have a rebuttal for that. That doesn't work. That's an argument of yours, all of yours, that doesn't work, period. Continuing with this article. It said, this is particularly true in dogs with a history of biting attacks on people. My goodness. Now, this is a very loaded statement, people, right here. The way he intertwined this whole little paragraph that he wrote here is a heavy, heavy statement and accusation. He said, on occasion, what may not seem provocative to the victim may well be something provocative to a dog. This is particularly true with dogs with a history of biting attacks on people. He's talking about bully breeds. But it's particularly true about bully breeds because bully breeds were bred to attack quicker without showing any signs. They were bred to fight, period. Bred to attack. It's in them to want to kill. So it's particularly true with those dogs because they are a fighting breed. The kids are doing the same things with bully breeds that they're doing with all other breeds. This is amazing to me how this is structured. Y'all clearly see this is an educated man. Let's not deal with intelligence. This is an educated man who knows how to write. He knows how to combine sentences. He knows what he's writing. He knows what he is saying. And that's dangerous. Y'all know my theories that there's an agenda. This confirms it to me. I'm like, wow, really? Let's continue. Wow. He dug in a defense for bully. He briefly turned into a bully breed advocate right there with that one. He said, recently I received an email from an owner whose border collie attacked a 13-year-old daughter. She was confused about why the incident happened and sought my expert opinion about the reasons causing the attack. The victim was a 13-year-old girl who lived with her family and a male border collie. The reproductive status of the dog is unknown. Border collie was a family dog. At the time of the incident, the victim was interacting with the dog, as described below. Suddenly, without warning, the dog turned and bit the victim on the head and face. She required less than 20 stitches. Notice how he phrased that. Why not just give the number? Why not just say she required 15 stitches? That sounds worse than saying required less than 20. Okay. The victim was not hospitalized. Okay. Oh, it was nothing, no problem. Less than 20 stitches. She didn't even go to the hospital. Well, she didn't stay in the hospital. She obviously had to go to the hospital to get patched up. If she go to get closed back up, I wouldn't try to minimize that hospital visit if the doctor was closing you up. Plus, we talking about a 13-year-old girl. That's not particularly professional in my opinion. But let's continue. We had our border collie for 5 years. He had shown up at the place of employment. I was unable to locate the owner. Dog had never shown any aggressive behavior. Listen to this. Except for other dogs. He's always inside dog. With us, very smart, well behaved, blah, blah, blah. In October, he bit my 4-year-old nephew in the face. The dog was laying on my lap and lashed out at my nephew when he reached to pet him. Very thankful, my sister and I were right there. We picked up my nephew and threw him out of dog's reach. Threw the 4-year-old nephew. I hope that's not literal, like you threw, right? Said, I excused my dog's behavior due to a small child that he did not know that well. Then in December, he was lying on my 13-year-old daughter's lap, being petted on the couch. She was on one end and I the other. The dog was between us. His head was lying on her lap. We were just talking quietly. Out of nowhere, jumped up and started attacking her in the face. He would not stop with my commands. I hit the dog with something laying on the table, caused it to stop. She had 22 stitches. I had to put him down after this due to his sudden aggression. I was sitting right there. Nothing provoked him. No warning of any kind. He was resting on her lap by his choice. I had animal control come to pick him up for me. It killed me. Oh, man. It killed me still. Miss him terribly. And my daughter still miss. Oh, Lord. Man, if I see anything cut my daughter's face open, dude, I'm just saying, I wouldn't be worried about it. I wouldn't care about that dog being taken away. I wouldn't miss that dog. All I would have been thinking, that could have been way worse. Dog did not stop on your command? What? And you felt bad that it was taken away? Listen, I'm not challenging you to question your morals, so let me continue. Just, wow, this is a interesting story, you know? Let's continue. Okay. Animal control picked him up for me. It killed me. Miss him terribly. He was one of her most favorite people. We will always wonder what caused this or triggered this behavior. Was provocation a cause for this dog bite incident? This adult male collie most likely had existing propensities for human-directed aggression prior to the incident in question. Functionally, some animal behaviors categorize the type of attack that happened here as being that of dominance. Dominance, as a concept used to explain canine behavior, has been criticized. Okay? Dominance as a concept used to explain canine behavior has been criticized. Oh, goodness. This is deep. This is deeply, yeah. A crackhead can criticize. How credible is the criticism? It's not credible. Dogs, they operate on dominance. Stop it. All predators do. Stop it. It's their instinct. Stop it. That's very unprofessional. Now I gotta stop right here. This is getting carried away. No, so pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Okay? Let's be honest here. Yeah, it's been criticized. But let me skip over that. Because, yeah, I don't respect that right there. Okay? Limitations, explaining dog, stop. However, functional description using dominance as a means to understand human-directed aggression may be helpful in the sense that it differentiates the causes from other types of canine aggression, at least on a functional basis. Oh boy, here we go. Isn't he getting creative here? Oh, there's something different about people though. Oh, it's different from dogs, you know. You are human, so yeah, it's more likely to bite your face, huh? Is that what you're trying to tell us? What is he trying to say here? Maybe I'm misunderstanding this. Where is he going here? Functional description. A functional description using dominance as a means to understand human-directed aggression may be helpful in the sense that it differentiates the causes from other types of canine aggression, at least on a functional basis. That is, descriptively, dominance-based human aggression differs from human-directed aggression due to maternal protective. Oh, stop it! Stop it. Dogs are just deranged. These are deranged. They have an unbelievable pattern of doing exactly what you just said they did. Just haul off an unprovoked bite somebody's face. Did it's either grown up around or whatever. Dude, this happens thousands of times every day in the United States alone. Stop it. You don't have the statistics to treat this like some isolated, unusual incident. We start from the statistics. How often do things like this happen? We're talking about 14,000 dog bites in the United States every day. 14,000 every day. Over 2,000 need emergency care treatment. This is a well-established pattern. This is not unusual, isolated. Oh, mysterious. Oh, let's figure it out. Oh, the dog aggression, canine aggression. Stop. Y'all in this funny cyber popcorn age, y'all, it sounds so confusing to me. Just cut all of that out. Okay? Are y'all following me here? Okay, now let's continue. I've invited this man. Let's continue. He tried to get creative there. I didn't like that. I'm sorry. I believe it is highly significant that your daughter was petting your border collie for some time before he suddenly jumped up and started attacking her in the face. Her petting continued until it reached the point where this socially benign gesture probably exceeded the threshold with which this type of dominant dog would tolerate from your daughter. Hence, the social relationship between your daughter and the dog before the incident must be understood in detail. Her petting continued till it reached the point where this socially benign gesture exceeded the threshold with which this dog would tolerate. So your daughter was petting it for too long. Dog got tired of being petted, so it took the last pet as a threat. Is that what you just tried to say in a creative way? That's how my brain interpret that. See, I'm old fashioned. My people come from the South. I don't get all sophisticated and complicated. People try to say that I do. Oh, he speak well and all that kind of stuff. No. Yeah, I'm old fashioned. At heart, I'm country. So I only understand things in a simplistic way. And I feel like that helped to better understand it. You probably confuse a lot of people with all that. Why don't y'all chill out with all this trying to sound smart and intelligent and be straightforward? That's the best way to communicate. Okay, that will revolutionize English. Sir, that's And if you disagree with that, please let me know. That's how I interpret what you just said. That she was petting the dog for too long. Petting it too long. Now, how was she supposed to know that? Wouldn't it be natural for her, if the dog's never done this before, wouldn't it be natural for her to believe that she could pet it as long as she wanted to? And if it got tired, it'd probably get up and walk away. Wouldn't attack her. Isn't that what y'all say dogs do when they get tired or something? They get up and walk away. Turn away. But he's making an honest attempt as a professional with a lot of credentials. A lot of credentials. He's trying to really explain this away. Okay. Her petting it exceeded the dog's tolerance. Okay, we got it. It probably would be faulty to say that past interactions were characterized by non-aggressive, dominant behavior from the dog towards your daughter. More accurately, your daughter simply and consistently may have acted submissively to the dog. I don't know exactly what submissive interactions regularly took place, but often what is found is that submissive family members yield space to the dog, allow the dog to rest or place their head on a person's lap, as in the current instant, or generally are unable to control the dog in different contexts. So in short, I believe the petting actions were provocative from the dog's perspective, but not necessarily from the perspective of your daughter. Stop. I'm sorry, I gotta stop right there. These people, these so-called experts, they increase my blood pressure. Stop. You just said the petting the dog was provocative. Sir, that's the best argument I've heard in a long time as to why they should be banned. Thank you very much. The exact thing that you teach kids is perfectly safe to do. The dog actually interprets it as a threat. Even if the kid had been petting that same dog for a long time, lived with the dog or whatever. Thank you. I'm going to thank you for that, sir. You see the name of my channel, as a person who hates dogs with a passion. Thank you. Oh boy. He said the petting actions were provocative from the dog's perspective, but not, of course, not from the perspective of your daughter. You taught her to do it, and she's been doing it for however long. No problem. Duh. Yeah, we know. I'm sorry. I retract the duh. Okay, don't be sensitive now. Don't be sensitive. I try to, make it entertaining for the listeners. Actually, I'm naturally a bit of a clown, but just bear with me. I'm not trying to be offensive. Okay, he said, you must realize that provocation as an issue in the dog bite cases is not a straightforward issue. Many variables must be assessed to conclude that any given act directed to a dog was provocative. He said many variables must be assessed to conclude that any given act directed to a dog was provocative. People, what do you make of this? Okay, what do y'all make of this? Okay. Petting actions was provocative. Okay, you must realize that provocation as an issue in the dog bite cases is not straightforward, which means you don't know what the dog is going to interpret as a threat. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for explaining to everybody why they should be banned and why they should not be considered pets. They're not pets. They're nothing but a hazard. A hazard waiting to happen. That's what okay, that's how my old old-fashioned brain interpreted that, sir. If I interpreted that incorrectly, please correct me. Please correct me. He said one criterion here was the change in motivation. The change in motivation? He said your dog was resting before leaping and biting your daughter's face. Another criterion is the nature of the response directed to the dog. The dog's reaction was elicited through your daughter petting to the dog's head. Wait a minute. The dog's reaction was elicited through your daughter's petting the dog's head. And next, the aggressive response from the dog was immediate. Change in motivation, the direction of the victim's response, and the immediacy of a dog's response are criteria that may be used in selected instances to define provocation, at least from the dog's perspective. Now, is War on Dogs in here? Is War on Dogs in the chat room? I'm going to need her to interpret that. Anybody, chef, anybody, take a shot. I don't know what he said right there or what he's saying. I can't decipher that. Call me slow, call me low IQ, knock yourself out. I will be that right now. He lost me. He lost me. So if anybody can break that down, I'll leave it highlighted. I'll leave it highlighted and I'm going to move on. But let me just respond to it, even though I don't understand it. I think this is all word salad. This is word salad. This sounds like a person who's trying to make excuses for a deranged creature with aggression issues. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay? I feel like I'm from this soil. I'm giving you the good old-fashioned American explanation. I don't know where you're taking it here. This is some Beethoven stuff you writing here. You're trying to make excuses. This is how you're making excuses for an unusually aggressive creature that attacks unprovoked for no reason whatsoever. There's no way to know how much petting is too much. This is not provocation. You're trying to argue provocation. No. This is a creature. This is affection. This is supposed to be a massage. Right? Isn't that what petting is? Don't we assume that the dog enjoys being petted? I've been saying for a long time that they don't appreciate that. They don't know what it is. So yeah, if they don't interpret it as affection, they'll just attack you. You're basically explaining that they're too dumb to understand that the person petting it is being affectionate. It's basically what you're trying to say. And that's how I interpret it. That's how I interpret it. I'm not being sarcastic. Now I know everybody used to everybody being sarcastic. I'm not being sarcastic right now. Okay. Now let's continue. Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. However, a concern in using these criteria has to do with the temperament of the dog. This border collie was already primed for human-directed aggression, and its inclinations to do so were recognizable given the previous attack on your 4-year-old nephew. Yes, sir. Okay, so after a dog attacks once, are you saying people should get rid of or put them down? Don't tell me you don't co-sign giving dogs a second chance. Suddenly now you object to the presence of the dog. Are you trying to say they should have that they failed to act on the first attack? Why even bring that up? When you know that you don't co-sign that as a reason for the dog's absence. You don't view that as a reason why the dog shouldn't have been there. I mean, stop with the dishonesty. That's why I don't like, man. They get so dishonest, they just make up stories. Just lie. Just flat out lie. So annoying. And Lord, why are you doing this to your own flipping kids? Okay, let's continue. Hence, the question becomes, how can you provoke a dog into aggression who has already had propensities for aggression? If, for example, this dog had no history of attack, then I would label your child's behavior as provocative. But this was not the case in the current instance. Hence, the best explanation must be tied to the temperament of the dog. Not being able to tolerate certain kids, certain kinds of social interaction. It can't tolerate being petted. What are you saying here, man? It can't tolerate being... What? Is this a new discovery? How come they haven't written articles about that statement? Okay, this is a new one on me. Okay, what a revelation. You should call all these therapy organizations, tell them to stop doing what they're doing. Taking dogs around the world, letting people pet on them. They interpret it, or at least you gotta say they might interpret it as a threat. You don't want to endanger people, do you? So get on the phone, call them up. Wow. Rather, this particular border collie, regarded by many experts as one of the most intelligent breeds of dogs, is best described as a dominant dog, is controversial. This issue has been addressed in the book. Okay, he's plugging the book. That's the end of it. Sir, I don't believe you argued that kids are provoking dogs. Understand what he's arguing here. He's particularly talking about facial attacks, facial injuries. He's trying to provide an explanation as to why kids get attacked in the face. Think about that. I mean, oh my goodness. There are not many stories bigger than this, in my opinion. There are not many stories bigger than this. This is a massive story. Wow. Like, I thought this was shocking. You would think that because this is like one of the more educated, he has more accolades than a lot of these other so-called experts. He comes off as more aggressive than them. This was written in a more aggressive way, as if he's trying to make it law, like flat out, this is why your kid's getting bit in the face. They're doing something. And he describes something as harmless and innocent as petting. That is deep. So basically, no matter what, you shouldn't assume that your kid did something. He tried to hammer home one of the most untrue narratives put out by the so-called experts. Put emphasis on it, like, wow. And it's not even true. None of it is even true. Man, if what you say can't be confirmed on film, then it's not true. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. If it can't be confirmed on film or the reports, then it's not true. What you see on film, what you see in the reports, is completely unprovoked attacks. So that's all that we can say. They will see them and attack them. Literally. Literally. On site. They will dig under a fence, jump over a fence, and attack them. Leave their territory, attack them. There was a story surfaced a few hours ago where a dog was running through the UK, just running through the UK, and attacked 3 people. All 3 just happened to be kids. They prefer smaller targets because they know they can't fight back. Easier targets. Simple as that. They're bullyish type of predators that attack just for the pleasure of attacking. They hardly ever eat what they attack, no matter if it's a human or livestock. They don't function like natural predators. These are facts. They attack for the pleasure of attacking and prefer to attack the easiest targets. Fact. None of what you wrote here is true. That's what I'm going to say right now. Everything that I understood and everything I didn't understand. None of it is true. That's what I believe right now. And if it is true, then I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for explaining or telling us why they should be banned. If they interpret being petted as a threat, even if you've been petting them for a long time, you the same person been petting them forever, and suddenly they attack you, thank you. Now, since we're talking about these experts, this surfaced today. This surfaced a few hours ago. And this is why I was doing research on border collies. I'm like, wow, why? Listen, y'all don't have to lie. That's first of all. And if you're going to lie, why tell lies like this? Of all lies, I can think of a more harmless lie. Yeah? I can think of lies that won't get nobody hurt. Why choose these types of lies to tell? Is all I'm asking. And they're lies. They're lies. Border collies are friendly. Okay. What does that say? The main issue you may encounter is them nipping the heels of people and other animals, which can be combated with good training and socialization. This isn't an aggressive act, but instead comes from their herding instincts. Why say that? Why say that? Why not just check to see if they've ever been dangerous? And if you see they've been dangerous, say, oh, these are dangerous. Simple. Like, that's real and that's just the truth. You do it if you found a toy that hacked somebody's kid open. somebody's kid face open. If you looked up a toy and you found it, a kid tried to activate it, and you know this is the truth, and you found that after activating it, cut a hole in their face, you wouldn't recommend that toy to nobody. So stop it. Don't act like you can't find the information. See, these are people who lived before the internet era. So this was easier to pull off. This was easier to pull off back then. You can't really get away with stuff like this. Now, people have access to the truth. This is crazy to me. To all of us, this is crazy. These creatures are dangerous. Border collies are dangerous. Look at this one. There's a whole bunch of stories. I pulled this up in about 3 minutes. All these up in about 3 minutes. Boy, lucky to be alive. After border collie mauls his head. Lucky to be alive. It almost killed him. So you recommend a deadly toy. Congratulations, ma'am. Border collie ripped somebody's face open right here. Whose horrible border collie mauled social worker's face walks free. And this dog messed her up bad. She was banned from keeping dogs for 10 years. Her face was permanently damaged. Toddler, left scar, border collie, bit his face when he tried to stroke it. He just gave us a lecture on how border collies, specifically, understand that's what his article was about, border collies. See? Provocation by border collie. Projecting them. So, border collie attacked your kid. Your kid provoked it with a stroke. And here they go. Say, hey, yeah, it happened here too. Okay. Wow. There was blood squirting everywhere. Woman mauled by her border collie while walking her own dog in a park. All right. A savage attack. You recommend that to kids. Okay. In families. Okay. I'm saying it just don't make sense. You see, this is natural to people, humans, we want to evolve. The human brain is just going to evolve. It's just what happens. Okay? Stop being all surprised by the anti-dog community. We're not doing nothing illogical or immoral or nothing crazy like that. I knowingly chose a very neutral subject to make a channel about. Just stop with the madness and the complaining about this channel. Now look at this. This from a pro dog website. Why do border collies bite children? They have made a discussion about it. They say, hey, we got to talk about this. So, border collies, known for attacking children? Is that why he made that article? Say, hey, the kid's provoking it with strokes. Stroking it. Even if you've been stroking it for years. Your kid stroked it one too many times. Dog got tired of it. And so your kid provoked it. All right. This is Ph.D. level information. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just reminding the listeners. See, people, y'all so caught up in this world. You take everything as a personal swipe, as offensive. People can't even say nothing nowadays without y'all getting offended. Don't listen to this smart ass. Just calm down and process what I'm saying and give me an answer. Much loved dog breeds are just as likely to bite as banned ones. Border collies are included in this. There you go right there. What's the problem here? Go ahead, check this out. I'll share that with you. They mention border collies and also share a photo of one. Now look at this. Human error is closely linked with dog bite. No, it's not. Ask the cops that. Not one cop will tell you human error contributed to no dog that tried to attack them that they had to shoot. Cops, notorious. Lord. This is not a debate, dog experts. Y'all got to change your rhetoric. You got to evolve it. You got to do something. Okay? It's 2023. Okay, we're here now. You got to elevate your rhetoric. We're going to make comedy out of it. We're going to turn it into comedy. We already doing it now. You already know that. Me, Chef, Animal Uncontrolled. A lot of people tune in. They just think it's funny. Just laying out the information of what y'all doing is funny. What is this? There's not a cop, and I wouldn't even have to ask the cops. Their body cam footage is all over the place. You see it ain't linked to no human error. You hear the reports, you see the footage. Ain't no human error. How do you confirm that? That's the thing. You never been to the military. Where are my military people at? Don't you need confirmation always? No matter what you need confirmation. You follow protocol. Stuff like this is basic research. You need to be able to confirm that through one of the ways where dog attacks are documented. These are the only places where dog attacks are documented. With the police report, which is basically the same as the hospital report, police report, the media report, and the footage. Like, I don't get it. With anything else you talk about, you can confirm it with the footage. If a mechanic tell you, hey, this is why your car messing up, he can show you. It's all there. There's no denying it. He can demonstrate it to you. They can't even demonstrate this stuff that they're talking about. We can aggravate a conflict situation. Oh, stop. When we fail to recognize what dogs are telling us through their body language, it doesn't matter what they're telling us through their body language. If they're telling us that they're uncomfortable and want to attack us through their body language, that's the problem. When we haven't given them any reason to want to attack us. Stop with this. This is an academic failure. It's an academic. Where are my nerds at? Where are my nerds at? This is why this feels like the Twilight Zone. A person like me should have never been the one pointing this stuff out. Y'all should have been pointing this out in the schools. Well, okay, let's continue. Border collies are harmless now. They're the perfect. This is a simple question. Why are y'all putting out misinformation? That's all my channel is about. I'm asking the dog professionals, why do y'all put out so much misinformation? I have a simple channel. Me saying that I hate dogs, that ain't got nothing. That's my personal opinion. I can hate dogs if I want to. They're not human. I don't owe dogs love. I don't owe dogs nothing. Just like y'all don't feel like y'all owe pigs and cows nothing that y'all slaughter all the time, that y'all eat every day. So I don't want to hear nothing about me hating dogs. Don't try to cast me as some evil person, no nonsense like that. You understand? Listen, look at this. Border Collie bites 2-year-old's earlobe off. Would you recommend a toy? I'm just saying, this don't make no sense. Would you recommend a toy that hacked some kid's earlobe off? You wouldn't turn around and say, how is it? This is a perfect addition to a family. Lord, this is not the 50s and 40s where you get to act like you live in Wonderland. Where you try to force in some fake reality. What? Like, it's like they try to force some fantasy as reality. Dogs are family. No, they're not. What is wrong with y'all? Stop it. Just stop it. Cut it out. And stop putting out misinformation. Look, dentists don't do this. Doctors don't do this. Other professionals don't do this. What they tell you is fact. They can show you. They can show and prove. That's a professional. If you can't confirm what you're saying on film or none of the reports, none of the sources where we get dog attack information, what are you doing? This is a failure. It's an embarrassment. Don't embarrass your profession like that. at least where are you to want to evolve your profession? You can make your mark in history easy. This is a very primitive level for dog experts. The door is wide open for somebody to make their mark in history, be the first dog expert to put out the truth. The truth. Keep these deranged mutants out of your home. You say that as the behaviorist. You say that as the expert. Dogs are brain damaged, deranged, neurologically dysfunctional mutants. Mutants with increased aggression. They will attack. They operate based on dominance. You see how they operate in dog packs. Go ahead and spill the beans. Tell everybody what they've already known already. All you doing is connecting the dots. You'll be the first dog expert to set the story straight. Why you're letting a bunch of people, critics, do it? Okay, just a little bit of advice. Just a little bit of advice. Shout out to everybody able to join me for this live stream. Always a pleasure to spend time with you all. Hope you are enjoying your holiday and your weekend here. And I hope you can join me on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.